Welcome to ESI Africa Insights on this final day of Enlit Africa, broadcasting you live on the exhibition floor. Today, I'm in conversation with Mr. Sadiq Mohammed, who is the Chief Operating Officer for Kaduna Electric. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Happy to be here.
Awesome, thank you. So let's jump straight into it. So just tell me a bit about where you're coming from, what you do, and your organization.
I have had experience within the distribution space and the generation space. I worked for Kano Electricity Distribution Company before I moved to Mainstream Energy Solutions, which is a generating company with Kayenji and Jeba hydropower plants, and now Zungiru. Currently, I'm in Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company. I am the Chief Operating Officer. We've literally just been brought in to see how we can transform the company. Unfortunately, the company had gone through a lot of challenges in terms of ensuring the lifeline of the company. And it was recently taken back by the regulator, NERC. And we were brought in to see how we can stabilize before the preferred bidders actually take over the company. In a nutshell, we have been on this for the past 3 to 4 months. We can see evidences of at least some of the initiatives that we're putting in place, such as customer enumeration, a bit of staff optimization, and also customer enlightenment. I think is very important. These are some of the initiatives that we have started, and I believe once the preferred bidder is in place, we'll be able to continue the progress that we are seeing.
Nigeria is a privatized electricity sector, right?
Yes, though not fully, but we're getting there.
Okay. How have you gone about it?
I can tell you before now, the entire value chain was under the government. We came through processes of trying to partly privatize, especially the distribution companies. Back in 2013, there was a privatization process which led to us having 11 distribution companies within the country. And of recent, in the last few months, we've also had part privatization of the transmission company. And even in 2013, there were some generating companies that were also privatized. Yes.
But has it worked?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Why? Because there are indeed success stories, and there are a lot of challenges, which if you look at it in totality, you can see the success stories, some in distribution, also some in generation. And if I was to pick out maybe some of the success stories, we've seen a lot of improvement from the generation side. 10, 15 years ago, maybe we were not doing as much in terms of delivery of power to the end users. And even as at now, the growth in population and demand also requires to redouble our efforts. And if you look at the distribution side, there are companies, for example, the distribution companies in Lagos, and who have dramatically reduced the level of ATC and C losses. We have seen huge investments in distribution, in metering, in network improvements. Of recent was the Yola Electricity Distribution Company, which saw huge investments. And of course, that had an impact on the losses and of course, revenue generation.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
But what are some of that you have seen, you think? These are good success stories, but what are some of the challenges facing the Nigerian energy sector?
I can say maybe just to pick a few. One of the major issues is liquidity issues. The federal government has been having to support the Nigerian electricity supply industry for quite some time. Gas has been an issue. Not the fact that it's not available, but the fact that a lot of the gas companies, the gas cos, have to be made full and for operators to pay the gas cos in full for gas supplied. As at now, Nigeria produces gas, but unfortunately, we also buy it in dollars, and we know the impact of what the forex has had on the industry in electricity market. So it's more difficult and challenging for the generating companies to get the gas as at when they require, because you need to pay for the gas upon delivery. This is one issue. Another issue I would say is, energy theft is a major issue. Unfortunately, there's need for a lot of work around customer education, end user understanding of the impact of energy theft. And we have seen the distribution companies have invested to see how we can bring in Internet of Things and also using technology to monitor consumption, metering, though not as much as we should be doing in terms of rates. But I know a lot of effort has been put in through, for example, some initiatives like the National Mass Metering Program and also the Meter Asset Provider, which has helped to bridge the metering gap in the country. But I think going back to your question of what is my assessment of the progress made?
Yeah.
I think we have, like I said, a lot of success stories and of course, a lot of the challenges. Right-of-way issues, they're also part of them. And I think if you look at the recent coming onto the grid of Zungeru power plant,
Yes.
which is generating over 600 megawatts, which is a company that has just been taken over by Mainstream Group. And this actually is an advantage to the country.
Yeah, there are indeed some good success stories. But I have to ask you this, because I think we have seen it more and more now in Nigeria, especially the issue of grid collapse. We are discussing these in the COO forum. What is the state of play there? Why do we see these frequent grid collapse time and time again?
Well, like we have seen yesterday, some of the speakers, they talked about getting your house in order. Getting your house in order is investing to ensure that you have full SCADA, you have full control of the system, you can see what is happening everywhere. So there's need for full investment in the entire value chain, from generation to transmission and distribution. And indeed, you would agree with me that having nice energy mix, having the hydros and the thermals is an advantage. And with the coming of Zungeru, for instance, it will help in ensuring that we have less yes, and majorly is to do with demand and supply as well, because the demand is huge, and unfortunately the supply, there's no equilibrium.
Yeah.
So and this is what we're trying to achieve, and hopefully in the near future we'll be able to do that.
All right. So when you look at the Nigerian landscape, what some of the recommendation would you make to improve efficiency in the sector?
Okay, well, if you've been following, there's a recent development where we're unbundling power generation, transmission, and even distribution by an Electricity Act, which actually allows states to actually generate, transmit, and also distribute electricity. The reason why this is because we're trying to see how the country is trying to see how other investors can come in. We can see more investments in the space. But I think some of the things that I perceive that have to be done are things like more metering, regulatory instruments to ensure full payment of electricity delivered. Also laws to protect the company and ensure revenue assurance by ensuring that when people steal energy, they're actually dealt with as they should, according to the laws. So investments are very critical to ensuring the value chain is made whole.
Good.
Yes.
You know what, Mr. Sadiq, we could spend a whole day here, but I don't have enough time. But it was good to have you. I think a Nigerian energy landscape is particularly very fascinating for me, especially after the privatization. And I know that you still own some assets there. And we hope that in future, the hard work that you're putting will continue to produce good results. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So if you enjoyed this interview, I would like you please to subscribe and share with your network. Until we see each other again, thank you very much.